Okay, so this is a lesson for day 151, probability of independent and dependent events. So probability, what is probability? Okay, so probability is a likelihood of something happening. Okay? It's like, what are the chances of that happening, right? For example, today, we might look outside, or you might look at your weather app, and it might say 0% chance of rain. What's the likelihood it's going to rain today? 0. It's not going to happen, right? And we can make sense of it. Probability could be read from 0% all the way up to 100%. It can't be less than 0, and it can't be 100. You can't have a 0%, or you can't have a negative chance of rain, and you can't have a 150% chance of rain. You know, someone says, oh, I know it's going to be a 200% chance of rain. They're just exaggerating. It's really just 100%. Okay. So, for example, if it said your weather app says today 0% chance of rain, are you going to dress for the rain? No. What if it said 100% chance of rain? Yeah, it's going to rain for sure. Okay. What if it said like 50% chance of rain? What would you do? What can you assume? It might rain. Would you be surprised if it did rain? No. Would you be surprised if it didn't rain? Okay, good. What if it said 80% chance of rain? It's most likely to rain. Would you be surprised if it doesn't rain? Yeah, because it's supposed to rain, but there's a chance it can't. Small chance, but it should rain. What if it's a 10% chance rain? Is it good? Do you think it's going to rain today? No. What if it did rain? You'd be surprised. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. So the other thing I want you to think about is percentages. Remember in 6th grade or even lower grades, 0% as a decimal is 0.0, or 100% as a decimal is just 1.0, right? So probability is also written as a number, or it could be written as a decimal, or a percentage. And let's say it was 50%, we could say it's 0.5, okay? And you could write these all as fractions too, right? So these are ways you can write it. So I want you to realize that you could write them in either way, okay? So if you're on the video, you need to write these steps down, so take a moment to pause and write these down. Okay, and we could calculate any sort of probability by this formula here. Probability of any event happening is the number of ways it could happen divided by the total number of outcomes. Okay, so and we'll talk about that in a moment here. Okay, so numbers 1 and 2. Okay, number 1, you toss a coin. Did I lose my coin from this morning? I did. Okay. Oh, here it is. I got a dime right here. Okay, I'm rich. Saved my money. Okay. Okay, I toss a coin 3 times. 1, I get heads. 2, I get heads. And 3, I get heads. Okay? Then it says, what is the chance that the next toss will also be a head? Okay, I just tossed it 3 times. Okay, ready? What's the chance of me getting heads right now? 50. How do you know that? There's only 2 sides. Does it matter how many times I tossed it before that one time? No, it doesn't matter, right? So here's how we figure out the probability, right? How many heads are there on this coin? How many? 1, right? So there's 1 head. How many total sides on this coin? 2, right? There's only 2 possible ways it could land. So the probability is 1 out of 2. How do we write that as a fraction, as a percentage also? 50% and 0.5, right? So these are all the same answer. Does that make sense? And we can write the probability of the event of the coin becoming, being a head, just that one time that's 50%. Okay? You're just as likely or not as likely to get heads, right? Does that make sense, everyone? Okay, cool. Number 2. Here's it. So that's independent, meaning it doesn't matter how many times I flip it, it doesn't change my coin. Now let's look at this one. Ready? Here's the story. In a bag of marbles, you have 2 blue and 3 red marbles. You will draw 2 marbles without replacement. What are the chances of drawing 2 blue marbles? Okay. So how many marbles are in my bag? 5 marbles. Good. How many blue ones and how many red originally? Okay, good. So this is originally here, okay? And when you do these problems where you have a situation, you want to draw out a tree of possibilities, okay? So you have the original bag here that has 2 blue and 3 red right here, right? You see that? Okay, so what's the chances of you pulling out a blue the first time? Well, it's 2 out of 5, right? Because there's 2 blue marbles out of 5. Okay, and if you take out 2 out of 5, then how many blue ones are you left with? 1 and 3 red ones, right? Does that make sense? Is there a chance you could pull a red one? Yeah, you have a 3 out of 5 chance. This is just the first time. Okay? Now, if I take a blue marble out of the bag, I'm not putting it back, right? Because I want to take out another second blue one. So, how many marbles are left in my bag before I pull a second marble? 4, right? So, what are the chances of getting this 1 blue marble out of 4? Well, it's going to be 1 out of 4, right? So we have a 2 out of 5 chance to get a blue marble the first time, and then we have a 1 out of 4 chance to get a blue marble the second time. Does that make sense so far? Okay, and these are the other options that you could have too. So what we do is we multiply these two, we multiply the 2 probabilities together in this example. So 2/5 times 1/4 is going to be 2/20, and we can simplify that as 1/10, which is really 10% or 0.10. And so our answer is going to be 10% to get the probability of voting. If and only if I get a blue marble first. Okay? Questions on probability? Alright. I'm going to pause the video here. Okay, so number 3, here we go. So let's look at number 3. What is the probability of rolling a 4 or a 6 on a 6-sided die? So you know, like a die, like what games have die? Like Monopoly, right? A pair of dice. So how many sides on a dice? Good. So how many 4s are there on the dice? How many 6s on the dice? Good. So how many 4s or 6s on the dice? 2. Good. Okay. So there's 2 possible sides that have 4 or 6, and then the total possible sides is 6. So what's 2 out of 6 as a fraction simplified? 1/3, and then we can write that as a decimal and a percentage, right? So is it a high percentage of rolling a 4 or 6 when you're rolling a dice?
No, not very high.
Does that make sense so far? Okay, next one, number 4. You flip a coin 3 times. Okay? Okay. So, let's say I had this coin, okay? Michael. Matthew. Okay. Matthew, ready? I'm going to bet you, let's pretend, this is one pretend for the video. Okay, let's just pretend that I said, you give me $5 if I flip heads 3 times, and I'll give you $5 if I don't. Would you take that bet?
Yeah.
What do you all think?
Right.
Yeah, who would say yes? Who says yes, Matthew should take the bet? Who says no? Okay, let's think about it, okay? So, what's the chances of me getting heads the first time? 1 out of 2. Got heads. Okay, and by the way, this for the video, I want you all to know that this is just an example, not really what's happening. So there's 3 attempts, first, second, and third. The chance of me getting the heads the first time is 1 out of 2, okay? That's the first time. I'm going to go again. I'm winning already. Ready? Heads. Yes. 1 out of 2. This is rigged. That's right. Okay? I do it again. Yes. 1 out of 2. Okay? That really just happened. You don't owe me $5. That's just an example. Okay? Okay? Now, I was pretty lucky, right? What was the probability of that happening just now? Don't we multiply these? What's 1/2 times 1/2 times 1/2? 1/8. Don't you multiply, right? How do you write this as a decimal? Okay, get your calculators out. Let's just write 1 divided by 8, and you'll get the decimal. .125, good. And then how do you write .125 as a percentage? you just move the decimal point 2 places to the right, right? So what's our percentage here? 12.5%. So the chance of me flipping heads 3 times was 12.5%. Is that a good chance for me? No. Why did I just get 3 heads in a row? I just got lucky, right? Who was in favor of Matthew winning, right? Who believed that? What was the percentage of him winning? If the percentage of me winning was 12.5, what was the percentage of him winning?
87.
Good, 87.5. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. Awesome. All right, let's keep going here. Number 5. What is the probability of drawing 2 kings from a deck? Okay, so take a moment, turn to your neighbors, and tell them, what do we know about a deck of cards? We have, how many cards are there? How many reds, blacks? What are the suites? What are the card names? Talk to your neighbors really quick. So what's the chance of me getting 2 kings? So what do we know about a deck of cards? How many kings does it have?
2.
Total kings in here. 4, good. How many total cards are there in here? Good, so for me to draw a king the first time, how many kings are there? There's a total of 4 out of 52. That's the chances of me drawing a king the first time. You all see that? Okay, that's the first time. So let's just say I draw a king. I'll find a king for you. Oh, here's one. Okay. I draw a king the first time. Boom. I took it out. Okay. I'm going to draw another king. How many kings are in this deck again? 3. I thought you just said 4. Good. I took one away. Did I replace this back in here? No. So it's not replaced. How many total cards in here? 52? 51. 51. Good. Did y'all get that? Good. So what are the chances of me getting a king now? What's the fraction I'd write here? 3 over 51. Good. Okay, now we would multiply. Okay, so what's 4 times 3? 12. Okay, good. Okay, and what's 52 times 51? Top of your head. Let's go. Quick. Nice. 2,652. You got that, Jasmine. Right? I want you to use a calculator. Okay, now I could simplify this, but check this out. Let's do a division problem. What is that going to be as a decimal? Everyone's participating. What's 12 divided by 2652? 0.0045. Okay, so good. So that's a decimal. Let's move the decimal places 2 places to the right to make it a percentage. Good. 0.45%. Is that a really good percentage? Is this even 1%? No, it's less than 1%. It's 0.45%, right? So I'm going to put a 0 here in red so you can see that. 0.45%. So what are the chance? Is it a really good chance of getting 2 kings? No, it's really bad, okay? And if you were to pull 2 kings in a row, that is really lucky, okay? All right, last one. What is the probability of drawing 6 red cards in a row from a deck of cards? Okay, I'm going to start over. I'm putting my cards back. 52 cards. How many total cards are red in here? What's that?
26.
Nice, 26 cards, right? So 26 cards. How many total cards? Good. So I'm going to pull out the first card. It's red. Boom. Man, I'm awesome. Okay? I'm going to pull out another red card. What are the chances of me getting another red card? How many total red cards again? You just said 26, though. Oh, I took one out. Good. Okay, so now there's 25. How many out of how many cards now? Good. Okay. Let's see. Do you think I'll get another red? That's what I thought. Okay, 2 red cards. Third card. How many red cards are left now? 24. How many total cards are we going to pull from? The chances are 24 out of 50. Okay, can you all please finish the problem for me? And we're going to multiply these out, okay? So I'm going to pause the video here and wait for your answers, okay? On this one, you should have had the following, right? Fractions, would you all agree with this? Right? Okay, and then when you multiply them across numerator times numerator times numerator all the way across, you should get 165,765,600. Okay? Denominator, we want to divide, it's going to be 14,658,134 658,134,400. Okay, how do we write that as a decimal? We're just going to divide on our calculator, right? That's the nice thing about decimals is that we could divide, and then our final answer is not 11.3, but 1.13%. So the chances of me getting 6 cards, are the chances of me getting 6 reds higher or lower than the chances of me just getting 2 kings? Higher, you see? Twice as high, over twice as high, right? Does that make sense, everyone? Cool. But is that still pretty low? 1% chance of getting 6 red cards in a row? Let's see if this could even happen. I'm going to shuffle the cards. Okay, ready? Okay, Ryan, you're going to pick 6 cards, okay? Let's see if you're the lucky guy today. Okay. Cut the deck. Okay. Nope. Okay, you took 1. Okay, ready? He got 1 red. Good. He's on his way. 2 red. Next one. Oh, did he get? No, he didn't. So, all right, he lost pretty quickly, right? Okay, good. Okay, so that concludes the lesson here.